Hi there. Bit busy this afternoon, so I made this. We've been trying out these LED signs that I'm fabricating. This one is yellow. It looks really gold. It's run by a 9-volt battery, but you can also use an adapter. And I'm offering it for sale if you like to have this, or if you like to have another sign which says buy silver or crash JP Morgan. I can also make them. Just suggest a price for which I might sell this to you. 1 ounce of silver, I think, would be, I guess, enough as an exception in this case, but you have to send it through the mail. And if somebody else wants another one of these, and I already sold this one, then I cannot do it again. I think for 1 ounce of silver, that's if I do that, I'll go bankrupt myself. So that's not a good idea. But if you like it, you can have it. Make me an offer. I've been following the news about Egypt, and it's not clear where that whole revolt comes from, other than pent-up frustration in society. Plus, a very important one, the social media. I think that's really the case, because I saw a quote that said that people that it didn't have a leader. This is a leaderless revolt, and you can only have that if everybody is well informed, if everybody knows what's going on, what they're trying to do, can communicate about that, and just goes into the street knowing, with his own resolve, his own beliefs, what he's doing. They don't have to follow a leader. Nobody has to stand on a little crate in a corner shouting and stuff like that. It's all done through the internet. And I think, of course, that's the reason why they shut it down, and it's a good reason. From the government point of view, from the Mubarak point of view, if you want to oppose this, then, of course, it's much better to shut down the internet and try to quiet things down than to start shooting immediately. And it appears that they have been doing that, and that's the worst thing that you can have. Where does it come from? What does it mean, and what's the purpose of it? I'm not sure. I hope that Egypt remains a strong country, and in the sense that it can defend its own interests, because there's water in the Nile, and there's oil under the ground, and there's Egypt, or there's Israel next door, and then there's Saudi Arabia next door, and people might revolt there also. It's like the Egypt as a country has to keep together, because otherwise there will be foreign influences that will take over, and it might even be foreign influences that call it democracy, and then start running the country democratic. Next thing you know, like Burger King, McDonald's, GM, all get subsidies from the US government to start selling all this shit over there, without any oppositions, without any autonomy in the Egyptian country, the people that are local. A positive sign there is that the army is on the side of the Egyptians, which is the wisest thing, and they have to be, because otherwise they're in a civil war, and everybody can creep into this country. It's like if you're fighting yourself in your own country, you're basically destroyed as a country, and that's I think a price the Egyptians shouldn't have to pay for the removal of Mubarak. All these leaders that feel they're so unique are completely proven wrong by this leaderless revolt. They're not unique. They're not necessary. And a democracy is about a shared opinion, not about somebody giving the opinion to the people. Like if you have Sarah Palin with talking points or something like that, she seems to try to sell you some kind of opinion, which basically usually is just a blindfold or earmuff or something to stick where the sun don't shine. It's bullshit usually, just to shut you up and to keep you out of the process. But it's completely possible to communicate and share opinions, and then do what's the best for the country. And I believe there's some real problems, because of course oil is running out, and the people are very young, and they are very ambitious and driven there in Egypt. And maybe there's not enough room. Maybe there's not enough resources for them all to do something. Maybe it's just the generation developed under a very nice environment, but there's just there's not enough to do for them. But they should basically, I guess, in any case, have their freedom to decide what to do next. and if that freedom is not allowed, or if their opinions are not communicated back to them from the government, then that government should clearly go. I'm completely disgusted, by the way, by the people in Davos and Davos, I have to say, and all their credit BS. And I really hope that they don't have a hand in it and they don't have a plan here, because they should really realize that they're completely superfluous. It's demonstrated here. People can organize themselves. They can step up, and they have the courage to do so, to step over the fear and get what they want. And it doesn't have to be a crime. Solving a problem should never be a crime. Should never be allowed to be considered a crime. And there's many problems. So, don't ask a multinational company to solve the problems. Don't ask, like the worst thing, like asking Bono what he thinks is the best way. Asking Tony Blair in Davos on the World Economic Forum, what's the best way? Like, give me a bucket. Leave me alone so I can puke about it for about 3 days. Too disgusting. So I hope Egyptians are safe, and that when they get a new government, it's not going to be some kind of imported idea. It has to be their own. But who am I to tell them that? Of course.